The dungeon was made extremely hard for the solo player to complete, but today I'm going to teach you everything that I know to help you complete it solo. If you like stuff like this, leave a like, subscribe, and do follow me on Twitch. I do stream almost every day. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. Before we actually get to the class, we're going to have to go over some key things that you have to know. First things first is you have to know how to dodge the Marauder swipes. This is when they swipe, you just have to know how to jump over them to buy yourself some time. You also have to know how to dodge the Crusher rocks. So when he throws a rock at you, just slide jump left or right to avoid him. And also you have to know how to trigger the blast tick. So if you don't know, if you run up to a blast tick and you wait for about half a second and you just run a complete opposite way, they will blow up on their own. But now let's get into the class that you're gonna need for completing a solo dungeon. So one thing I would recommend for the armor is if you have any armor that's like forged, like fauna gear or something, put it on because you're gonna need some very different perks. So for the helmet won't be touched at all. This helmet does not get hurt by AI. So the helmet you choose is the one you'll have the entire raid. What I would choose for this is find a restorative health helmet. Okay, you're gonna want something that has resto. I don't know if I have any resto helmets right now, but in the video I did have a health resto helmet with less damage from hostile fauna. But again, if you don't have resto, that's all right. Just put a tactical helmet on. Trust me, you'll need it. For the chest, this is pretty important. You're gonna probably go through at least 3 chest pieces. It depends how good you are. I think I only went through 1 full purple shield and I had another one to kind of counter that. What I would recommend that you do is you get your best shield, your best fauna shield, your best PvE shield that you own. And if you don't have one, that's all right. I would definitely recommend that you either use tactical or you use the restoration shields, because again, you're not going to want to just have these normal combat shields. That's not something you're going to want to have. So I'll throw on a tactical shield and then I'll look and I'll see what I have. I'll throw in 2 more tactical shields. So in total, I'll go into the dungeon with 3 purple shields in total. And this is just to make sure that if I somehow choke a room, if I mess up somehow, I can have some backup, because if your shield breaks in a solo dungeon, you're pretty much screwed. Now, since we have the armor out of the way and ready to go, we have to talk about the guns. So the only guns that I would recommend you use for the dungeon is a core, and I would recommend you use a hammer. So for the core, I usually use a purple penetration mod just because I don't know if I'm going to get countered. I don't know what's going to happen. And last thing I want is to be in the dungeon, get countered by surprise, and I don't have my purple converter on, so I don't do as much damage as possible. But you could use a purple creature damage mod. I don't think the purple creature damage mod does anything for the core, so personally I would recommend just use a normal purple converter on the core. Now for the hammer is a completely different story. This hammer, you need the purple creature damage mod, and this is for a simple reason. Blast ticks, if you shoot them one time in the black area of their face with this converter on, they don't explode and you can one-tap them. So trust me, in the last room, this will be your absolute best friend. So this is the kit for gun-wise that you're gonna want to have: a core 47 fully decked out and a hammer with a purple creature damage mod on there. So now that we have this, we have to think about heals and we have to think about ammo. You get a crap ton of ammo in the dungeon, so I really wouldn't worry about bringing too much ammo, because if anything, if you run out of ammo on your core, you'll have so much hammer ammo that you literally won't need anything else. But what I would recommend that you bring in for the dungeon, just to kind of prepare yourself, I would recommend that you bring in at least 800 core ammo and probably around 200 hammer ammo, because really the only room you have to get through with this starter ammo is the very first room, because after that you get a ton of ammo going down the road and you can just funnel the ammo down. So you can grab ammo from one crate and transfer it to the next room and just keep going back and forth. So ammo won't be an issue for you in this dungeon, especially if you have the hammer, which is extremely good on ammo. So now that we have ammo out of the way, we have to go to the stims. I wouldn't bring any smokes. There's really no point unless you really are scared of getting countered. You could bring like a couple, but I wouldn't recommend it personally, because you need as much space as possible for stims. Now for stims, I would bring in a metric crap ton of stims. I literally would bring in like 40 stims. I'd bring in like 2 medkits just to be careful, just to be safe. Again, you can grab some along the way in the dungeon, but again, you want to bring as many as possible. So right here, I have 40 stims and a medkit. Again, I think this is more than enough. I'm pretty sure I only used like 15 stims in my dungeon run, but again, it doesn't hurt to bring more stims. It literally doesn't hurt at all, because you never know in a room. You could do pretty bad in one room and then you'll be out of stims or something. So just bring extra. This is the main kit that I I would recommend you bring for a solo dungeon attempt. Now, once you have all of your heals out of the way, you're going to want to do a simple thing, and this is a step that you probably don't want to forget, or else the last room is going to be a little bit more dangerous. I mean, you don't really need this, but you should bring it. This is the heavy mining tool. This is used for the last room mainly when we use the strategy there. Bring the heavy mining tool. Doesn't matter where you bring it. Shove it up your butt. Put it in your safe pockets, and again, you'll be more than fine. But this is the final kit that I would recommend that you guys bring in for your solo dungeon attempt. Again, balance it on how you feel about how confident you are with PvE. If you have to bring in more stims, bring in an exotic bag, bring in a forged bag, just make sure you have what you think you will need. But again, this amount of shields and this amount of stims is plenty extra for me, because you do get some stuff in there. But with this being said, let's hop into the dungeon and see the strategies that we use in our solo dungeon attempts. So out of my 3 attempts in the dungeon, I have never died. I have completed every single solo dungeon that I've attempted, and it's super simple because I use pretty good strategies as a solo player. The first thing that you're going to want to know is that the first 3 rooms are going to be the easiest of the rooms. They're not easy. I'm saying they're easier because the last room is absolute hell. Okay, it is hell. So you have to prepare yourself mentally. So the first room is extremely easy. This is super simple. You basically just drop down the hole, and all you have to do is clear a couple striders and a couple rattlers. All you have to worry about is not walking into the water, because if you walk into this area down here, this water goes all around the room. If you even go down these rock ramps, you'll have these poison ticks that start spawning. Again, if you hop out of it right away, it's no big deal. But the first room is basically your warm-up. Get into the flow of things and just try to prepare yourself for what this dungeon is gonna bring. Try to use your hammer more, so you try to conserve ammo. Even though you do get a metric crap ton of ammo, just try to conserve it, because again, you never know what's gonna happen in these dungeon runs. They can be very chaotic, and they can go south very quickly. So just prepare yourself for the absolute worst. Use your hammer, practice your shot, warm it up, and then this room, after you complete it, this room, super simple. Hop on to the next room. So now when you're getting ready to go to the next room, one thing you could do is these crates have a ton of ammo. Again, these 2 crates will give you 900 core ammo, and they will give you like 1200 hammer bullets. So literally, you could go and you could pick them up, drop them down the hole. You can't really pick them up because then you'd have to clear blast ticks, so it's a whole nother problem. But just get the ammo you need, because again, there's so much ammo in this dungeon, you will not have to worry about it. In my old guides, I would recommend that you drop stuff right down the hole to be lighter. I don't recommend you do that right away, because in this back area, there are blast ticks that do not stop spawning for a very long time. So you're going to want to drop down the hole and run a little bit forward, like up to the platform where we're gonna go, and then drop stuff there just quickly, because again, if you drop it back here, you're gonna screw yourself later down the line. But for this second room, it's gonna be fairly simple. We're gonna drop down the hole, we're gonna go left almost immediately. Sometimes you get lucky enough that the first marauder right here will start opening his mouth right away, and if you get this rotation of the marauder, you're gonna want to take out your core and just insta him right away, right? This gets rid of 1 marauder immediately, and then you're gonna want to climb on this platform and take care of these 2 rattlers. These 2 rattlers, you want to get rid of them right away. Shoot them with your hammer, do whatever it takes. Just get rid of them, and be aware of your surroundings, because again, you'll have this marauder down here and this marauder up top right that's going to spit at you. And when these marauders do spit at you, you want to try to get their spit on the other side of the platform. So as you see here, this is the left side of the platform, and right over here is the right. We want to keep all the spit either on the right or keep all the spit behind this pillar, because as you see, this chef spit over there, I move right to make him spit right, and then I come back left. I kill this other rattler so he doesn't annoy me. The crusher really won't be any bother, because this pillar right here is our literal best friend. As you see, the crusher is going to try to throw rocks at you, it's going to hit the pillar. There's going to be Jeffs trying to spit at you, it's going to hit the pillar. So if you kill the rattlers here and you just stay behind the pillar, wait for the Jeffs to be angry at you and they open up their mouths like this, you can insta them with a core. So just make sure you get the kill on the marauders first try, or else you're going to have to move to the right, put the spit over to the right side of your platform, and then come back left. If this area behind the pillar gets poison on, you're in for a rough ride, because then you can't play this. You have to go around the room, you have to find other strategies, you have to work with what you got. But this is the safest way to play this room. Use this platform, use this pillar, keep the poison to the right, and just try to take care of the marauders first, because again, the crusher, not really that big of a deal, because he can't really ruin your areas of play. As long as you stay above him, you can stagger him. It's super simple. Just make sure to kill the marauders as quickly as possible, and then once I kill that that final Marauder. Room is pretty simple. Those Rattlers on the left won't even look at me because I'm too far from them. So we just worry about the Crusher and dodging the rocks. As you know, you have to know how to dodge the rocks, and it's super simple. So when the ball is being released from his hand, you just slide left or just slide right. And then once you clear out the room, again, loot if you want, do whatever you have to do. As you see, my armor's not even halfway done there, wasn't even halfway broken. And if you go to the door right here, you're gonna have 2 poison ticks that do spawn, and this is what you have to practice. As you see, the blast tick is right here. If you shoot on this upper half of the blast tick that's glowing green, it's gonna do a big splat of acid, and you can't stand the acid. But you're gonna want to shoot him in this bottom part where like the orange follicles are. Shoot him right at the bottom of the black part of his face with the hammer with the purple pen mod, and as you see, one shots both of them. They don't explode. Super quick, super easy, and then you can mine the wall and be free. And that's something you have to know about the hammer. Use the hammer when you have the blast ticks coming at you. Trust me, it will help you and change your life. So right here, after you complete the second room, you'll have this little mid area that's super simple. All you have to do is you can stay on this platform, you can go down low, but there's going to be some Striders here that you have to kill. Then there's going to be a Marauder that you have to kill once you go up this ramp to the left. And if you stay in this area for too long, there's going to be more Striders and more blast tick, but it's only one more wave, so it's not that big of a deal. And this is a looting area with some boxes in it, so clear the Striders, whatever it takes. Super simple room. Don't die here. Don't be worried. Don't take damage. Play height if you have to, and just loot the boxes. I don't know what you're gonna get from the boxes. I think the best thing I've gotten from here is a Brute, which I don't even know how I got that lucky, but I did one time. So if you stay in this area for too long, or you go there and come back, the blast tick and the Striders will spawn. And once you're going up this ramp to the right, there's gonna be a Marauder, and you just have to focus up, make sure he's dead very quickly. Just, again, play your strategies. You guys know how to kill a Marauder, you know how to eliminate him, so just get that done, and then we'll hop on to the next. Now this is the third room that you guys are gonna have to worry about. There was ammo in that little area that we went through, so as you see here, you'll see how much ammo I have. So as you see, I'm going into the third room with like 700 hammer bullets and almost 1,000 core bullets. This is more than enough for the third room. It's honestly overkill if you ask me, but this third room can get very chaotic very quickly, and this is a very dangerous room. This is the most dangerous of the first 3 rooms. So what you're going to want to do here is take out your core as soon as you drop down. You're going to stay in this area right here as you drop down. If you need to lose weight in this room, you can drop it back here, because I don't believe stuff will spawn. I mean, I just sit here the whole time, so you know what I mean. But right here, you're going to want to sit right here, look to the right, kill the poison ticks as quickly as possible, and then you're going to want to focus this Marauder. The one thing about this room is that you have to kill the Marauder extremely quickly. Like right here, I already messed up because he gives you an opportunity to kill him right away, where he just opens his mouth and you insta-kill him. But I had a pretty good rotation here. Like I could kill the Marauder fairly quickly. So the first thing you want to do is drop down, look to the right, kill the poison ticks, and kill the Marauder right away. Don't shoot the Crusher. Don't shoot anything else. So as soon as you kill the Marauder, and again, check up top, make sure you're not getting encountered, you're going to see a lot of Striders coming your way. So this is when you're going to want to start shooting down this little way right here. You're going to try to aggro the Striders, because you have to kill as many Striders when they're far away. If you get a lot of Striders coming at you in this little area, it's going to be very difficult. So again, kill the Strider as they come. The other Crusher will start aggroing on you, but it's fine. Kill as many Striders as possible. Do the best you can do, and use your core here, okay? Make sure you hit them all. Just make sure they get defeated quickly. And right here, what I did in this room is I tried to kill these Rattlers on the left first. You really don't need to do this, just because they really won't aggro on you. But I said, you know what? Let's just get rid of them quickly. So got rid of one, getting rid of the other one. I'm using this rock to my right to block the boulder that's being thrown at me. As you saw, boulder was just blocked there. And then if you get too close to this Crusher up top, he will aggro. But if I stay in the back, he won't aggro unless I shoot him, obviously. Now my goal was to get to the platform on the right, because I just wanted to get somewhere fairly safe. So as you see, I stagger both of them, so I'm allowed to run up there, and then I'm going to run in a straight line, hook a right, and jump on this platform. And I want to defeat these Rattlers right here. Again, it's like the second room. You want to defeat the Rattlers quickly, just so you have some free space. And you're also going to use the same exact rule. You're going to have a Marauder right here, and you're going to want to make sure that he spits on the right side of the platform, just like in the last room. And you'll also have 2 Crushers throwing boulders at you, unless you can insta-kill 1 Crusher. But again, if you hug the left side of the platform, you can actually block off the left Crusher completely, so you can just focus on the right one super easily, and you just just focus him, make sure he's out for the count. And if this Marauder isn't just sitting still, if he starts shooting poison at you, again, move to the right side of the platform, make sure all the poison's on the other side of the platform, and do exactly what we did in the last room, basically once again. So once we are close to killing this first Crusher, it gets very, very simple, because then I'm going to try to do as much damage to this Crusher as possible, because where I'm sitting right now, the Marauder on the right cannot shoot me. And I should have honestly killed this Marauder first, but I'll be honest, this room I messed up on a little bit. I could have killed stuff a little bit quicker, could have done it a little bit safer. But again, if you're stuck in the same position I'm in, just back up, hold this back angle so the Marauder on the right over here cannot hit you, and then just focus the Crusher, take your time on him, make sure he's dead. And then once you kill the Crusher, you can focus the Marauder. And again, super easy if you insta him just like that. I should have done that long ago, but I didn't. And then all you have to worry about is Striders, and you can just stay on this platform and just shoot at them. It's super easy. Again, just stay on the platform, shoot at them. They can't jump up. There's no way of them getting to you. They can't spit at you because they're Striders. So literally just clear the room from here, and then you're ready for the final room. Now, before you get in the final room, you'll see that there are gonna be ammo boxes right here. This is your last chance to get ammo, so I would recommend just get all the ammo you can, drop it down the hole, because you never know what situation you'll be in. You never know how much ammo you're gonna need, because again, the room might go a little wonky, but this is how much ammo I brought into the final room. I had about 600 or 700 rounds of hammer bullets, and I had around 1400 core bullets. So this was, again, more than enough, because this room is literally like zombies on steroids, and I'll show you why in a second. So what I did here is I dropped some ammo down the hole, because you're going to be running a lot in this room. So drop some stuff, make sure you organize. And as you see, as I'm going into the room, I'm 300 pounds. I'm looking at my shield, seeing what's out of durability, and I'm going to run a little bit deeper in the room, and then I'm going to drop some stuff in the room. So when I'm running in circles, I can actually just pick it up as I go. But as I drop in the room, there's going to be blast ticks, a ton of them, and there's going to be a Marauder that you're going to want to insta-kill very, very quickly. But for this room, it's literally running around and waiting for the blast ticks to stop spawning. So the blast ticks will keep spawning for a very long time, and from my calculations, it's about 10 minutes of non-stop waves of blast ticks, Striders, and Marauders. And in these next 10 minutes, you have to play perfectly and just run around and blow up as many blast ticks as possible, because to do my strategy, you just have to survive for the next 10 minutes. Run around, blow up as many blast ticks as possible. I wouldn't even worry about damaging the Crusher at all. Just worry about surviving, because that's going to be one of the key aspects of this room, because the goal of this room is very simple. We're going to wait for all of the blast ticks to stop spawning, wait for everything in the room to basically stop, so it's just me versus the Crusher, and that takes about 10 minutes. Now, this is easily the hardest point in the solo dungeon, just because at times it gets very, very full. The room will be loaded with people. It will literally be insane, and our goal for this room is to wait, and then you're gonna mine out this back wall. Right here, I do something stupid. Obviously, you should not be mining this wall until all the blast tick phases are done, because when you start mining the wall, the poison ticks will spawn there and they will just poison you. So you don't want that to happen. You do not want to do what I just did. You're going to wait until all the waves are basically done, because as you see, I put myself in a really bad spot. I have the Crusher charging at me. I have Striders in front of me. I have blast ticks behind me. I have a Marauder in front of me. This room, again, the hardest room in the dungeon for the solo dungeon. Now, you'll see that after around 10 minutes, all of the blast ticks will have stopped spawning. Again, you have to keep killing these things or just running around them so they just blow up by themselves. But then you'll basically have like Marauders, some Striders. There will be some Striders and Marauders like bugged around the room, stuck on walls and stuff. So again, if they're stuck on walls, if they're stuck in little cliffs and they're not moving, leave them. Don't touch him. Just let him be. Let him vibe. And now it's basically a 1v1 situation versus you and the Crusher. As you saw, there was just a Marauder right there on my left that was bugged. And this is what happens after all of the blast sticks have stopped after around 10 minutes. This is the ideal situation that you want to put yourself in, because now you can run to the back of the room and mine out the wall with your heavy mining tool. This is the key to the solo dungeon, because you have to wait those 10 minutes so you can survive this part, unless you want to big balls it and just go right after it. But this is the safe way that I do it. And again, I did this with no forged chests, which take all of the damage from creatures. So anyone can do this with even just plain purple armor. But again, once you mine out that wall, you're going to sit right back here. And this is where you're going to be until you kill the Crusher. So just shoot him, lead him on back here. It's super easy. Just make sure you don't fall off this little ledge, or else you literally can't really get back up. You have to run all the way around. And by that time, the dungeon could have despawned. So you have to re-put it down. It's this whole thing. So just don't fall down. Just stay here, shoot him so he goes down, and just make sure to kill him. It's super easy. It does take a little bit of time, but just make sure you plan smart, you play well. Once the Crusher's HP is around halfway done, there's going to be blast ticks that spawn, these poison ticks. Make sure they don't blow up either. Shoot him in the face, or else it's going to be really hard to see the Crusher, and you're going to have to walk out in a ton of poison. So shoot him with your hammer in the face. You'll one tap him. Super simple. And again, go right back to killing the Crusher just like you were. And as you see here, these blast ticks did blow up, so I kind of messed up a little bit. And there, I finally killed the Alpha Crusher. And then, since I had so much poison here, just clear out all of the poison ticks here, and then you can collect all the loot you want. Run back in, collect anything you want. You'll still have some stuff spawning in there if you're in the water. If you want to farm toxic lands, you know, do your thing. But now that is literally the solo dungeon completed. I'll show you what I got from my chest. It wasn't that good. So this was my chest. Again, wasn't really that good. I am low on purple helmets, so it was good in that aspect. I got a drill too. But again, and also let me know down in the comments if you have any additional tips that you could give to some homies, because I might have missed something. So just type it down below if something worked for you too. If this video helped you at all, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next one. Peace.